Have you ever dreamed of moving to Costa Rica, but you fear the unknown? I'm Rebecca Clower, owner of Blue Water Properties in Costa Rica, one of the top real estate and investment agencies in the country. I'm a dual citizen of Costa Rica and the USA, and I'm also a mom to 2 children. And like you, I had many questions about moving to Costa Rica and life in the tropics. This series is geared towards educating you on the ins and outs of Costa Rica living and what you should know before taking the plunge. Hi everyone, I'm Rebecca Clower of Blue Water Properties, and today we are going to be talking about building in Costa Rica. This is a hot topic that many of you ask about, and obviously there's a lot to know when it comes to building here in paradise. However, it can be done. A lot of you ask the questions such as, how long does it take to build? What is the cost? What all is involved? So I've built about over a dozen times over the last 15 years, and I'm here to educate you on the process of building here in paradise, so stay tuned. So most likely at this point you've found your perfect lot. When I purchased our lot, we tried to look at a few different factors. We wanted to make sure that it wasn't too difficult to build on, wanted to make sure it wasn't on a complete mountainside that required a bunch of retention wall work. So these are things that you want to take into consideration when you're purchasing a lot, because obviously if you have to do a lot of retention wall work, that's going to drive up the cost of the construction. So definitely take that into consideration when you're looking for a lot, but that's what we thought about when we purchased our lot for construction. The next step for us was getting both a boundary survey. So the boundary survey was actually given to us when we went to purchase the lot. And then on top of that, we got a topographic survey. So the topographic survey is used to recognize the different elevations within the lot, because you need to understand what kind of construction you can put on there. And so it's really important to have all of that done before you even move to get plans. Most architects are going to ask for a topographic survey anyways. So it's definitely very important to understand what can be built and the exact borders of your lot, so you're not building on your neighbor's lot. Choosing an architect is absolutely one of the most important steps next to choosing a great builder. And so how do you do that? When I chose my architect, I asked my clients who have built homes in Costa Rica who they work with and who they recommended. At the end of the day, I interviewed a few architects and I ended up with one that I felt like I just had a connection with. And then on top of that, I just really liked the kind of homes that they designed. I was looking for more of a modern tropical home, and that was really what he focused in. So I definitely lucked out with a really great architect who listened to me and also works quickly and efficiently to get the plans over to us. When you're building, there's costs involved, obviously, with the architect. The Colegio de Arquitectos is basically a governed board for the architects here in Costa Rica, and they have a set percentage that they charge. Basically, it will run around 10.5% of the total project cost. So keep that in mind. The 10.5% is basically pre-project, pre-planning, the plans themselves, and then supervision during the build. So just so you get an idea of what the costs are involved when you're doing plans and here in Costa Rica. Now, the very big decision of choosing a contractor, it's so important here, and also the cost of building can vary greatly. So in terms of hiring a contractor, make sure it's somebody that comes highly regarded. Go and see the homes that they've built. Go and talk to people that have been in those homes for a few years to see if everything's still holding up. Those would be my tips to you. I chose my builder simply based on recommendations, and then I also went to go see the homes that they had constructed, and I asked for references, several of them. So definitely go that route, ask for references. Don't be afraid to ask for that information, and it'll make you much happier with your decision of who you choose to build your home. Building in Costa Rica has a wide variety of costs involved, and so when people ask, what does it cost per square foot to build? That's not an easy question to answer. And that's because it depends largely on, again, what kind of building lot. Is it flat? Is it sloped? Is it on the side of a mountain? Are you doing a cantilevered home? So there's a lot of different factors that go into just throwing out a cost per square foot to build. Understand that in the Central Valley, which is in and around the San Jose capital area, the costs for building are much less than they are here at the beach, which tend to be about 20 to 25% more. So figure in the Central Valley anywhere from $70 a square foot to $110 a square foot. And here at the beach, anywhere from $120 a square foot up to $180 a square foot. Again, depending on what you're building, the level of finish work, among other factors. But that gives you a roundabout idea of what it does cost to build here. If I could offer another tip, I'm more of a visual person. So when you look at things on plans, sometimes they seem bigger than they really are, because you look at renderings and they put a king bed, you know, in one of the bedrooms, and you just assume the king bed can fit there. So don't ever just look at a rendering or look at your plan with a little bed built and think that everything's gonna fit perfectly. You have to measure, you have to understand what the measurements are. And if you're still unsure, go to a house and see a room and measure that room. And look at the furniture that's in there and say, okay, this is gonna fit in here, so this will work for me. I made the mistake of my very first house not doing that, and I could only fit a full-size bed where I thought I could fit a queen bed. So just don't assume anything, and make sure that you're understanding the measurements in the different rooms in your home. So definitely do that so you're not disappointed. So the very last step when you're building is, now you have your plans, you've lined up your builder, and everything's good to go. Now you have to have your architect file your plans at the municipality. The cost for that runs 1% of the project cost to get your permits from the municipality. I will say that things are much easier now than they were 15 years ago. Most of the municipalities are now digital, so they have a digital platform, and turnover is much, much quicker than what it used to be. I've been seeing plans getting approved between 2 and 4 weeks once they're submitted, so I think that's great news, and that's just to give you an idea on costs. And then you also have to purchase a workers' compensation policy, which also runs around 1% of the project cost. So again, this is just to give you an idea. This has to be purchased through INS, which is basically a government-run monopoly here in Costa Rica, but we have no choice on that, so you have to purchase the policy through them. In the next episode we do regarding building in Costa Rica, I'm actually going to take you through a home that I'm building, and that way you can see our step-by-step progress. We have a main home, 4 bedrooms, and a guest home of 3 bedrooms that we're building, and so we'll see from start to finish the process, from starting, breaking ground, putting the roof up, putting the walls up, and then at the end, of course, doing the finish work, picking out furniture and more. So I hope you enjoy the future episodes as well. Have a great day, and thank you so much for tuning in, and like our video and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Take care.